Okay, hi everybody. I'd hoped there would be more of you on at this time, but we will record this for those who have other things going on tonight. I asked Leo to set up this meeting, even though it was a little short notice. Do I need a translation? Do you need to do translation? No. Okay, good. Because I wanted to, first of all, give you an update. You're going to get information tonight on the kickoff call that I had mentioned on my call on Monday night, that there was going to be some amendments to the compensation plan. This is just the starting point. That will be effective January. And they're minor modifications, but they're important ones, especially for the silver consultant. First of all, they're going to introduce a rank. We used to have this rank. They're reintroducing the rank called senior, and it will be a rank that is attained at 500 PGV. So when you hit 500 points, a new person, you have the rank of senior, and the benefits are 5% rebate / override on the commissionable volume. So if you recall, a few months ago, or when you joined, probably, a direct who did 100 points would receive a 5% rebate. So essentially, they took that away and bumped it up to 500 points and gave it a recognition. So what that should inspire, and with other things that are coming, what that should inspire is for somebody to start their business at least at 500 points. So one of the packs, for instance, because then they attain the first level of rank, then they attain the 5% override, which means when they enroll somebody, they're going to receive that 5% as an override when that person enrolls. So that's addressing one of the issues that we've had in the past, where if you sponsored somebody, you didn't make money on sponsoring them if you were at the same rank. So this is one of those ways of tackling it. There's others coming. So the second thing is, if you are, let's say, an executive, and you have somebody in your downline who becomes a silver, you don't lose them. They're doing away with what's called the bypass policy, which means right now, as it stands, if somebody becomes a silver before you, then they go up to the upline, and you have 1 month to become a silver to capture them again. That's going away. So if you have somebody who becomes a silver, they're your silver. End of story. Let's see. The other thing that's going to change, the big thing that's going to change, is that all the ranks, 500 senior, 1500 executive, 6000 silver, has to happen in 1 month. No more 3 months. That's going away. So what you should be thinking about is who may be this month, in December, has volume in November, has volume in October. They should take advantage of that volume to go executive or silver, because come January, that volume won't matter. So something you should take advantage of right now. However, we used to have silver in 1 month, and it used to be 20,000 points. I can tell you, in my experience of NECANN, in my years of NECANN, and when they've made adjustments to the compensation plan, I'm not often against it, but I was against it when they talked about reducing the volume of a silver down to 6,000 points and giving them 3 months. And you may have heard me say, even though they give you 3 months, that's not the way to go. Do it in a month. And yet, if they give you 3 months, people tend to take whatever time they give you. But doing it in 1 month creates momentum. Momentum is the key to growing a network marketing business, period. And if you don't create momentum, which is what it takes to create silver now with a 1 month silver, most of you figured that out, right? You kind of go like this, like this, like this. And then the month you think you're going to go silver, your volume does this. So you've pretty much, those of you who've gone silver have already experienced this, but now it's going to be in the comp plan as a way to do it. So that's going to create more focus, because you're not going to slowly, gradually get your way to silver. You're going to focus on doing that. That creates a focus on a strategy, a focus on a launch, a focus effort. That creates focus, and focus is a key component of momentum, and momentum is a key component of growth. So we should start to experience a lot more rank advancements. You're going to think, wait a second, isn't it harder to go silver? No, that's just in your mind, because a new person doesn't know. They don't know what it used to be. So to them, it is what it is. But now your strategy is going to be a little different. And your strategy is actually going to be more effective, because you're not going to take the 3 months, which takes too long, and you can't create excitement. You can't create momentum over 3 months. You got maybe 1 month of somebody's attention. And if you don't get results in a month, then they disappear. So this helps us create focus and momentum, faster results, and better experience for everybody. It also increases income. The other thing, a big thing, for a silver now to earn their 6% leadership bonus on other silvers in their downline, it used to be, or still is now until January, you have to have 4,000 points of organizational volume in order to, you have to have 100 points, you have to have 1,500 points in PGV, and then you have to have at least 4,000 points organizational, which includes your 1,500 points, to earn that 6%. Well, we asked for, and they agreed to eliminate the organizational volume. You don't have to have organizational volume as a silver to get paid on your silvers now. Just the 100 points and the 1,500 points group volume. That's a huge win for the silvers. But the bigger win is the next point. Right now, a silver, if they don't do their full 1,500 points, they don't get paid 20% rebates or 20% overrides on their group, on their directs, on their executives. However, as of January 1, there's no requirement other than your 100 points to earn 20% rebate or 20% override. That translates almost, it translates into a 25% increase in income for the average silver. So that's big news. And we're really happy about that. So that's a pay increase for silvers. And that's an important thing, because silvers really are the backbone of our business. They always have been, they always will be. So any questions about what you've heard so far? I think I covered it mostly. It's all good news. So far, all of these changes are to drop the barriers of resistance and to help create accelerated growth, which is what we all want. And they are a return to ways that we were in the past. And when we've had our biggest compensations and so forth. So this is all good. And this is, like I said, is just step number 1. It's the step that I know they can program into the computers. That's why we know we can get that done. There are going to be things with respect to special packs and the incentives program. That's going to be a real eye-opener. That's going to be a real business building tool, is the incentives program. So the comp plan just tells you what you get paid, what you need to do to get paid. But the incentives program tells you how to build. And it creates incentives for building the business the right way. And there's going to be an emphasis on structure and volume. Right now, it's pretty much only volume. Do 6,000 points and you pretty much are silver. Do 15,000 or 12,000 points in your gold. But the real requirement is going to be having some structure in your business, and it's going to be focused on having 3 active legs. So this again creates focus. Now your attention turns to, how can I help my people advance in rank? So it becomes the focus turns to the people on your team rather than to the volume you have to create for yourself. It's a different psychology. And that psychology is what has always worked to perpetuate growth. When I turn my attention away from the volume I need, turn it on to the volume my team needs, guess what happens to the volume that I need? It's automatic. But it focuses me on the activity that I have to focus on, which is the advancement of my team. So if I'm now focused on their advancement, and they're focused on the advancement of theirs, and they're focused on the advancement of theirs, you see how that works. It brings everybody up. So it's the right strategy, and that's what's coming. So I wanted to let you know this because we're in December, the last month of the year, and many of you are already working toward an incentive like the Japan trip, the focus for the Japan trip, which is an amazing incentive. And I hope you all realize, I checked the volumes yesterday, and I think the highest, the person in the 40th spot was like at 15,000 points. Any one of you could do 15,000 points in a month if you decided. We used to do 20,000 points in a month to create a silver, and we used to do that like it was yesterday. So any one of you could still, at this moment in time, make that incentive happen for yourself, your Japan incentive. But that's not what I wanted to mention. What I wanted to mention is, if we're going to do an event in January, and you want this event to really propel your business in 2023, first of all, January is perhaps the single most important month of the year to kickstart, because it's the time of the year that people have made new commitments to themselves. You know that. Everybody does a year-end inventory. They set new goals. Some people, they decide they don't want to be in their job anymore. Decisions are made by people in their life around this time of the year. And the number one time of the year to advertise for jobs is January. So the newspapers fill up quickly with job opportunities and things like that, because that's when people are looking. So we're going to come into a season of people looking. And if you're not really if you don't have the oars in the water rowing your boat, you're going to miss the season. If you don't put the net in the water, you're going to miss the fish, because they're coming by in a school, not one at a time. They're coming by as an army. So you need to get the net in the water. So what I would be doing in December is what I did, Mike DiMuccio did in 1991. In December, I joined Nikken. In December, I started talking to building a team. In December, I started talking about launching in January. Even though I was in December in Nikken, I was talking about launching Nikken in January. Okay. Now, we have some incentives and the compensation plan adjustment coming in January. So we are launching, if you will, reintroducing Nikken with a new comp plan in January. So you have that strategy to say to people today, right here, right now, I want to talk to you about something that's coming in January. I want to give you as much information now so you can decide now if you want to be part of this, because come January, it's going to go like this. And I want you to be a part of that. So the event that Leo has planned in January for the 21st, it can't be Leo's event. It simply cannot be Leo's event. It has to be Team Quebec's event. You each have to own this event. It's your event. It's not his. Thank you for Leo's leadership and doing the things that he's doing, but it has to take ownership now by you. You guys have to each think of yourselves as responsible for this event and the success of this event. Because once you put that hat on, once you start wearing that responsibility, that role, you start to act differently and you start to attract differently. The law of attraction works. And so for this event in January to be the biggest event so far, but it to be the kickoff event for the year 2023, your momentum year, we got to make this event in January sing like the angels. I mean, when people show up to this event, they got to feel like, wow, they've arrived. And I mean, dress up the room. I mean, have some music in the background. I mean, get there early. Don't be setting up when guests are arriving. Do this as professionally as you can. Make this a stellar event. Make it an event like it's a Christmas party. Like it's a wedding. Pre-plan it, put the effort in, set it up, make it look right, make it feel right, because when people walk in the room, they smell, they see, they hear everything from the moment they walk in. And what they perceive from the moment they walk in tells them what this is. Okay? And if they walk in and it looks disorganized, it looks nothing is important here, then that's what that's the impression that you're giving them. So the impression that they need to get when they come on January is that something's happening. Something important's happening. These people are excited. These people are ready to do business. This looks interesting. Let me sit down and learn about this. That event has to sing. I'm telling you, I'm not wasting your time. I'm telling you, if you guys want to make 2023 the year that your business takes off, I had a $15,000 check on February 15th because of my January launch. Okay. So I know how important this is and how it can change your trajectory if done right. I was 10. With me was 11. 11 of us organized our calendar for January. I wasn't alone. I would never have done it alone. I could never have done it alone. But what it took was a team. And even though I was the leader of the team per se, because I was really the first one in and sort of making a lot of the requests, we need to do this, we should book this, we got to plan this. I had the team take on a responsibility, a role as equal to mine. And so when we planned our event schedule in January to lead up to our main event, which was actually, ironically, January 21st. Did you know that, Leo? The big event that we had in Toronto in January was January 21st. So here it is, it's full circle. It was the third week in the month. That was our big event. And we had a guest speaker come in from out of town. That was our big event. And I can just tell you, if you do this right, January will set up your 2023 and tee up your Nikken business into a full-fledged career. But it takes everybody really doing their part. You can't not do your part. Everybody has to contribute. It's like a family. So what I'm asking you, and those of you who are watching this in recording, you need to organize. I mean, you really need to organize. I'll give an example of what I'm talking about. Right now, I just started as of last night, literally as of last night. This is what I started in my, can you see that? Somebody read that. Can you read what that is? It says
Neighborhood Watch.
Neighborhood Watch. So we've had 3 break-ins on our street in the last 2 weeks. 3. So they're breaking into the homes, stealing what they can, even though the alarms are going off and whatnot. So we now, as neighbors who never knew each other, maybe I knew my neighbor to the left, I knew my neighbor to the right, but I don't know anybody else. We finally are talking as neighbors. And we're communicating as of last night on a WhatsApp chat. I created a WhatsApp chat for this, and we're growing our neighborhood. So we have all the members, not all of them yet, but we're getting there, where we will have all the members of the streets of this community, which is not many, it's like 25, 30 houses, on a chat, so that we can start to be neighbors to each other and we can start to watch each other's back. So through this WhatsApp chat already, hey, there's a car circling. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. What the hell's a car doing at 3 o'clock in the morning in our neighborhood? People have it on their video cameras and so forth. So we're all now in it. You know, we're now a tribe. We're now like it's us against them. And that feels very different than being me against them. I feel a lot more secure knowing that my neighbors are now paying attention to what we need to pay attention to together. We have a common interest, the safety and security of our neighborhood. And it just took one thing to get it going, a decision to get everybody on the same page. We all have the same concerns, but we're not on the same page. It's getting on the same page and now starting to coordinate our effort. I ordered the signs for Neighborhood Watch. We've got 3 security companies that we're interviewing tomorrow night on a Zoom to determine whether or not we're going to go with which one we're going to go with to provide us with additional security on the ground. I mean, none of this would have happened if we didn't make a decision and start coming together as a community so that we can secure our neighborhood and feel like we have some freedom again, and people can go on vacation, not worry about their house being broken into or not being taken care of if it is. That took a decision. And I'm the one who started it because that's what I do. I lead. So I'm asking you guys to do that, to create the same equivalent, the family of Niken that is responsible for the safety, security, and the prosperity of Niken in Quebec. You guys got to be equals. You got to be just as interested as the next person in the success of this community, in the flourishing of the community. You need to take an interest in each other's success. And that's how you win. That's how you win big in this business. I'm telling you, there's no other way to win big. It's community that makes it happen. And that's what happens when people then show up into your meeting space and they feel the energy of the space you've created. They're going to be like, I don't know what these people are into, but I sure as hell like their energy. I want to feel that too. They'll join because of how you make them feel. All the details, that'll work itself out eventually. But they feel first. And they feel your presence when they come into the room. So if you're not all there, if you're not all shiny, if you're not all dressed for success, if you're not all prepared for success, if you're not demonstrating how you want them to feel, they're going to come into the room and it's just going to feel like everything else. You want them to feel special. You want them to feel like what you guys got going on in that room is way different than what's going on in every other room in the city, especially where they work. And that can only happen if you're all in it together. It's like a cast of a theater, of a production. If the cast isn't on, if they're not all doing their job, the show's going to be a disaster. Even the people behind the scenes making the curtains go and the lighting change and all that stuff, if they're not on the ball, that show's going to be a disaster. It takes a level of professionalism to pull off a good show, a good event. And you guys need to do that. It's time, because that's going to stop you if you don't do it. It will prevent you from experiencing the success I'm talking about. You have to come together and create an experience that people want to come back to and be a part of, and they're going to want to invite their friends to, because it makes them feel good. It makes them feel respected. It makes them feel wanted. It makes them feel invited. It makes them feel like people are waiting for them and excited to have them. Now, you imagine bringing a guest to a meeting like that. You think that guest is not going to join or at least buy something? Of course they are. It's the experience that you're creating, the environment you're creating. It's everything. That's the first impression. And the first impression sets the tone for the meeting. It sets the tone. I did my meeting in Toronto 2018, and I'm telling you, I spared no expense. Those of you who came to the meeting in Toronto, the Humans Being More event, you saw a killer event. I mean, every last detail to the name cards, your name, your rank, where you're from. I mean, every single detail was taken into consideration because I wanted people to experience the best of NIKAN. And so that's what I'm asking you, is if you can replicate that experience in January for the guests, you now have between now and January to build the momentum so that that event in January becomes a seriously exciting event. Even you are supercharged excited because of what you see happen. Let me tell you something. If 200 people are trying to get into your meeting space, you're going to be flying off the roof. And that's what it takes. It takes that kind of level of commitment. Yes, dress to impress. People take notice of these things. They want to be in the... Why does anybody pay attention to movie stars and so forth? Because they want to be like them. They want to live like them. They want to have the experiences that they have. Why does anybody pay attention to fashion? Why is fashion a thing? Think about it. Why is fashion a thing? Why do they keep changing the clothes every season? Because it's a thing. People want to be fashionable. And if you're not fashionable, you feel outdated and you feel left behind. So people go out and buy new clothes. So it's fashionable. So they stay in the fashion. That's how motivated people are. They buy new clothes, not because they need them, but because they want to be fashionable. People will come to your meeting and they'll come back because the meeting feels fashionable. It feels relatable. It feels exciting. And so I'm telling you, this is the key. You come to a meeting in Latin America, you experience what my team does down there, you'd come back going, holy crap, I'm moving to Latin America. These guys know how to live. These guys know how to do stuff. It's a party. It's a festival. Every one of their events is a party. It's so exciting. It's so upbeat. I mean, it's just amazing. There's so much recognition. There's so much collaboration. There's so many smiling faces, and they dress, especially the women. Man, do they dress to the max. They look like they're going out for fancy dinner all the time. I love it. I love to see the way they treat their business and the face that they put on for NIKAN. They want people to know NIKAN matters. NIKAN is the Gucci of network marketing. For the guys, the Tom Ford of network marketing. That's what they do, and they do it really, really well, and it works. Why? Because people are bored, silly of their life. They're bored of their jobs, and nobody treats life that way, except on very special occasions. Well, why not make this a very special occasion? It is the launch of NIKAN in Quebec, of Team Quebec. It is the launch of your career. It's the launch of your future. It's the launch of their future. Make it feel like that. Now, to add one more thing, I'm going to suggest tickets. Properly printed tickets. Okay, so I will pay for the printing of the tickets, Leo. So I want it done right. You find somebody who knows how to do that, and we get properly printed tickets with numbers, etc., because we want to create an impression that this is a formal event. It's like a gala. And so there should be tickets. And the sooner we get them printed, the better, because then we can start selling those tickets right away. Why would you be selling tickets for an event in January when it's only December? Because you're expecting it to be a very special event and it's going to sell out. That's why. So get your tickets now before it's too late. That's why. How many of you buy tickets in advance for special events? I got invited to a gala in February, last week. It's November and I'm getting invited to a gala to buy tickets in February. Somebody's planning for a big event. How do you know? Because they're selling tickets in November for an event in February. Have you ever gone to a concert? Any special musician? When do they sell tickets? Months, even a year in advance. I bought tickets for the weekend a year in advance because you can't get tickets otherwise. They'll sell out. That's how you know it's a big event. That's how you know it's a special event. So the sooner we start selling tickets to this event, the sooner people are going to get the idea how special this event is. Are you getting all this? Is this making sense to you? It's not really a shock, but it's the way it's done. It's the way we play in the big leagues. We do things right. We do things professional. People come, they see this is a first-class organization. This is a first-class business opportunity. These are first-class products. And I am first class, so I'm coming in. That's how it goes, guys. That's how you make it work. That's how you make it fly. Just think, make it your motto, first class. We are first class. So, any comments, any questions? I see the chat blowing up here with comments. For those of you who, yes, hi. For those of you watching the playback, you're not seeing the chat. So let me just say, you know, I like the expression "dress to express." I'm very excited. I cannot wait. Yeah, look at this. We're already we cannot wait. We're only in December. Je m'occupais de trouver quelqu'un pour la musique au meilleur prix possible. Absolutely. Yes. Hey, I had my nephew who's now a recording artist do my music. So yeah, find somebody. Catherine.
If Leah wants, I can do the decoration. I've done a pretty nice gender reveal for my sister for her baby, and it was a hit.
Fantastic.
I love decorating. Yeah.
Fantastic. Everybody here has a skill that we want to really make showcase and shine. And we're going to make notice of that. We're going to make sure that you get proper recognition at that event. I want you to start imagining
I have a
it.
question.
Yes.
Can we get, this is Marie-France, can we get that, you know, those little ads that we can send by email and like what you do when you come to Montreal?
Oh, like a
I don't know
flyer,
who
like a
creates them. Yes.
digital flyer. So a digital graphic. Yes, we absolutely we can. In fact, again, whoever you hire to do the tickets, if you've got a graphics person, find a graphics person. Somebody knows somebody who's into graphics, and then they can do the ticket and they can do a matching poster, you know, like the digital poster, so that they match. You know, it's just like the rock concert, just like the whatever. The tickets in the, that's called branding. There should be a nice look and feel that brands the event.
Okay. And when you do it, when you send it out, you have someone, is that someone in like with a specialty that does that, or?
It's just, I found a graphic artist who does that. So I'll give an example. Okay. If you have French people that you know that do this work, you know, please invite them to help us. I'll show you one of the I find it. I think I have it. Yes,
the guys do my flyer already, the graphist David. You see,
okay.
David, you can do that.
Okay, make sure it's first class. Okay, so here, that was the event. Now the website looked like this, the flyer looked like this. We had the Humans Being More event. Tell me, does that not look like the Oscars to you? That's first class. Okay.
I'd want to go.
Yeah, that's right. So people want to go because it looks like it's a good place, a good thing to do. So I'm telling you, we still live in a society where people go by what looks, you know, by looks. So let's use it to our advantage. But I know it's more than that, because once you, how do you feel when you dress up? How do you feel?
You feel good.
Yeah, you feel like, I mean, can you imagine dressing up and not going out?
No.
No. See, no, you dress up because you want to go out. You want to go out, so you dress up. So dressing up makes you feel like going out, right? It's for everybody the same. You wouldn't dress up and stay at home. How do you feel when you're just in track pants? Do you feel like going out? No. No makeup, no, track pants, a sweatshirt. You don't feel like going out. Certainly not to anywhere fancy. You see what I'm saying?
Or getting your hair done. Right, Catherine?
So
Yeah, I just
yeah,
got my
like
hair
getting
done.
Yes, it makes you feel like showing off. Like, let's get out there. It's just automatic. Mark,
Yes, what is the price you suggest for the ticket for the guests? $10 or?
yeah, some nominal fee, maybe even $20. And by the way, it could be the value of the ticket, not necessarily the price of the ticket.
So only the price it costs to do the ticket, you mean?
No, let's say the ticket
No?
says, maybe the ticket says $49, or maybe the ticket says $29, or maybe the ticket says $19, but you only charge $10. You say, I got a special arrangement. You can have it for $10.
Okay. Mhm.
So you can have a face value, like tickets do. They all have a face value, and then they have the value that it goes. When you go to a hockey game, have you ever gone to a hockey game and paid more than the face value? I sure have. Have you ever gone to a hockey game and paid less than the face value? Again, I have. If you go to Scalpers. So the face value is the value that you want people to understand the value of the event. So there's a value, there's a perceived value. The way it looks and feels, just the ticket creates a perceived value. Then you can decide what to actually charge. Maybe it's, if you buy a book of 10, it's $100, but its face value is $200. So when you're inviting your guests, maybe you might even throw in a ticket or two free as an investment in the event from your part for your guest. Have you never been invited somewhere? I got invited this year to play in a golf tournament, one of the premier golf tournaments in Toronto. And it was my lawyer, because he sponsors this, and he sponsors it for 2 people, and he invited me to be the guest. That included golf for the day, all drinks. We had sushi on the golf course. We had oysters, a guy with an oyster bar on the 9th hole, opening up oysters at the 9th hole, so you can have fresh oysters on the golf course. I didn't pay for that, it was free. Drinks, that, food, and then an incredible steak dinner. And that's not all. Prizes that they gave away at the end, everybody won a prize. I got a pair of earpods. I paid nothing because I was invited. That's my lawyer investing in his clients. Okay, so business does that. If you put $10 into a ticket for somebody, and that somebody becomes one of your biggest consultants, you'd think that $10 was nothing. So I'm helping you start to rewire your brain for a big outcome in 2023, not to settle for less. Let's act first class. Let's be first class. Let's let the world know we are first class. I know that when they get in front of us and they feel our hearts, they're going to feel it, but they don't sense that until well into the situation. The first impression is going to open up their minds, open up their eyes, and that's going to lead to them opening up their hearts. Let's make the 21st of January an amazing day to remember. Yes, thanks, Catherine. Okay, so start the planning. What I suggest you do is what I'm doing right now with my Neighborhood Watch. I started a group chat for Neighborhood Watch. Start a group chat for January 21st launch. and invite those who are willing to be co-captains. Be co-captains. Okay? There's always going to be leaders who lead. I've got somebody leading in the charge on who the security company is. I'm not doing that. I just help get the organization started. I'm doing the communications. I'm helping to bring in Neighborhood Watch from the York Regional Police. So I'm doing parts. Other people are doing other parts. And together we got something. That's how it's got to work. You each need to contribute your part, your special magic, and everyone is needed. All hands on deck. So, Yin, does this sound like a plan? Yeah. You're going to see your December skyrocket because you're planning for January 21st. You're going to see how well you do in December just because of this. Again, so Leo, the urgency to get tickets printed, very urgent, like next week. So get the graphics person working on that right away. Tell them, I need first class. Don't give me your second-rate stuff. Okay? All right, everybody.
Can you send this record right away?
Yes, I will. I will send this right away. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Thank you so much, Michael. Thank you so much.
Okay. Have a great night, everybody.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Bonsoir.